you got for me?
What has been the biggest change in terms of your process to get ready from college to now, whether it be more film study, different note taking? What's been your biggest change?
Nothing really. I've had the same process since I was at LSU starting. I think obviously you make it more efficient as you get older, but same process.
How do you feel like the joint practices went with the Rams? What do you feel like y'all gained from that?
Yeah, it was good. Without as good as you can get without, being live. So it was good work. I'm glad we did it.
There was a lot made on social media about you and the Giants defensive coordinator, Wink Martindale, talking. Is that about the comments he made?
No, we were just shooting the shit.
How do you feel about where the offense is at right now, maybe compared to where you've been at this point in 2020 or 21?
Yeah, we're obviously, I would say, higher level execution than we were the last 2 years. Just we have more years in the offense, more veteran players. I'm excited about where we're at. Obviously, a lot of room to improve, but where we're at right now, I'm excited about.
Where you at weight-wise? You feel like you're getting closer to kind of where you want to be?
Very close, yep. Building the body back up. Don't have far to go to get to where I want to be.
Is that kind of what you thought you'd be right about now when you were coming back for that?
Yeah, I was hoping. I worked really hard to get back to it. Still have a couple more pounds that I'd like to put back on, but I'm happy with where I'm at.
Joe, you said last week you know when you'd be 100%. Have you hit that stage that you know yet?
Not yet. By the end of this week, I think I'll be feeling good.
Are you sick of the protein shakes?
Yeah. I feel like a high school kid trying to gain 40 pounds again.
We've asked you a lot about LC and the addition of him, but we haven't asked you a lot about Alex Cappa. What have you seen with the Rams practices also being kind of like your dress rehearsal? What do you like about what he's brought to your offensive line?
Yeah, you couldn't ask for anything better from him. He's been a great teammate, great in the locker room, great on the field, execution-wise, picking up blitzes, blocking people one-on-one. He's been great.
Why is the backup quarterback in your role, your relationship with him, such a big deal in terms of not only preparing during the week, but preparing and playing on game day?
I think not just the backup, but also the practice squad guy that we have. Everyone brings their own energy to the room, and whether it's pointing something out to me on film or on the field, or just cracking a joke in the quarterback room, or bringing some joy into that. It gets the season gets monotonous, so the more good people that you can have around, the better the morale is going to be, and the better you're going to play.
I think you've also said in the past that extra set of eyes can, or 2 sets, like you said, extra eyes can always be helpful. How does that help you?
Just a different perspective. They might see something from the sideline that I don't see during the game, and they bring it up, and maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't, but it's always good to get as much information as you can and different perspectives to kind of all put into the soup that is game day.
Joe, when you look at this team, like a big picture view, you're out there in the field, you see these guys. What's your view of the roster, and are you different than last year? Are you better? Can you sense something different?
I'm excited about everybody that we have on the team. Everyone made the team for a reason. We have a lot of experience at the top, but I think we have a lot of depth this year that maybe we haven't had in the past. And so I'm really excited about everybody that's in there.
Your head coach, your coordinator, a lot of key players have been together for a while. The continuity and consistency, you're all still young. How exciting can that be?
Yeah, the sky's the limit for us. It's just obviously still have to go out and execute on Sundays. Doesn't matter what we did last year or what we did the year before, how well we played, or the numbers we put up. If we don't go out and execute, it doesn't matter.
What have you seen from Cordell Volson? What has he shown you since he was drafted?
Big, strong, works really hard. I'm really excited about what he's going to become. He's a big North Dakota boy that it's fun to play with, high energy. Is in his playbook, you can tell, knows his stuff, so he's just going to keep getting better and better.
When you face the Bengals defense and got against that scheme, what's the biggest thing that stands out to you about the challenges they pose?
Nothing easy. There's nothing easy at practice. They're going to get up and challenge you with a lot of different looks and blitzes, and then they're also just going to play man, and tell you to go win. I mean, our defense is one of the best in the league up front. You can tell that, those guys have been playing together for a year now. Their communication is really good. Their stunts and blitzes are on point, so they're going to be good for us.
Joe, do you think you are in a uniquely qualified position to handle not going into the regular season having played a snap in a game? Because, 2020 there was no preseason. Last year was last year. And then this year, obviously, your surgery and your appendectomy.
Yeah, I wouldn't say uniquely prepared. I would say there's a lot of players across the league that can go into week one feeling good about where they're at without playing in the preseason, but I would say I'm in that boat. Just, I get most of my work in practice anyway, leading up to the game. So we're going to go through our routine next week and feel good about it and feel ready to go.
So you don't get overly concerned about contact, speed of the game, tempo, all of that, because you've been through that before, is that right?
Yeah, I would say that's accurate. Obviously, whenever you're facing live bullets, it's going to be a little different for the first tiny bit you're out there, but you get adjusted very quickly.
Did it take like a series or two last year, or did you hit the ground running and just feel normal right first play?
When you're in the fire, you're in the fire. It's time to go. So you're not thinking about all that.
I know it's not game week yet, but does the energy feel different now? Does it change at all starting today before this opener next weekend?
It feels a little different. The less people in the locker room, more focus. Everyone knows it's time to go.
I know you've always said you speak when you feel like it's necessary. Do you feel like it's needed to have some kind of a message before this season starts to kind of lock this team in at all?
I never really think about that. If a message comes to me that I feel like could be useful, I'll come out and say it, but I don't prepare anything beforehand that I think everyone needs to say or hear. So if it comes to me, it comes to me. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
What's it feel like? I mean, now you've been this is going into your third year. I mean, what's it feel like now, maybe being a week away than it was after the first year and the second year, where you had so many kind of extenuating circumstances about it?
Yeah, getting just excited to get going, just like every year. It's no different than when I was in third grade getting ready to play my first game. It's always exciting.
Remember you playing third grade first game?
I can't remember, no. I wish.
Is there anything that you enjoy doing in the off season, kind of that's not football related, that maybe helps you get ready? That's like kind of cross training, but it's not anything to do with football. Does that make sense?
No, not really. I mean, I do some kind of workout every day throughout the off season, but I wouldn't say anything specific.
What makes Jamar, and why you...
Say it one more time. Who?
What makes if you want me to, what makes Jamar? And why do you have, I mean, it looks like there's no doubt in your mind that you're going to. I mean, what is it exactly is it?
We've just had a lot of reps together over the years, and he understands where I'm going to put the ball based off certain leverage and technique by the corner, and I know exactly how he's going to run his route based on the same thing. And so we've just accumulated so many reps since his first year in college and my first year starting that we just know what each other's going to do.
Do you think it's his strength? Is it his speed? Is it a little bit of both? Is it his...
It's just, there's a lot of fast guys and there's a lot of strong guys in the league, but I would say the amount of people that have both are pretty rare, and that's what makes him special.
Remember the first rep that y'all had together at LSU where you felt like this was going to be like something special, like this is different than anything you've kind of done before?
Nothing specific comes to mind, but I knew he was going to be a really good player from the first time I threw with him.
Does he ever make a catch now? You say holy, or is it just?
That's expected from him. If he doesn't make the catch, I'm saying the same thing. Like, why didn't you catch that one? You always catch that one.
You obviously have a little more experience with Jamar, but are you kind of at that same point now with T and Tyler and the receivers you've been working with?
Yeah, I would say I'm at the same point with those guys. You're with someone for 2 years, you throw and see so many different looks, and you talk through so many different techniques and coverages against, there's only so many routes, and so the more reps you accumulate against different looks, you can bank one here and there that maybe you pull out again at the end of the year against that same look, and it turns out to be the same ball, and he's going to get his eyes around at the same time. So yeah, I would say I'm at the same point with those guys.
That LSU team you had in 2019 was so dynamic. It felt like every team you faced was at a serious disadvantage in a lot of ways. Do you feel it's similar now, the way that this offense is comprised here, with the players you have, the stars you have? Do you feel that same way about this offense?
Yeah, I would say our skill players, if not the best in the league, they're rivaling every single team in the division, in the league. Those guys work really hard to get good at what they do, and you got to pick your poison. If you're going to play too high, you're going to have to deal with Joe Mixon in the run game, and if you decide to play man, then good luck.
What is the identity of this offense in your mind? What do you want it to be?
Well, 50-50 run and pass. You'd like to be able to run the ball really well, which I think we're going to. We got a great running back, a tough physical offensive line that's going to open up holes for him, and then you got to be able to complement that with play action pass and drop back pass as well. So you got to be able to do everything.
The past couple of off seasons, you've helped out in free agency where you could, just going to dinners and things like that. Have you talked to O.J. Howard at all over the past 24 hours?
Huh?
Have you talked to O.J. Howard by chance over the
No, I
There's a report about it.
I'm not super dialed into
Okay.
waiver wires and cuts and all that at this point.
A report that he's visiting.
Oh, okay, cool. Maybe hopefully
Speaking
we'll
of
get
tight
to talk
ends,
to him.
speaking of tight ends, how you mentioned all the reps that you had with Jamar, and now you've got a few with T. How long did it take you to get used to the gait, that Hayden Hurst runs with, and adjust to throwing the football to him like you've been doing it?
Yeah, about a week. After first week I was out there in camp, you get used to it and understand how he's going to run his routes. And then you always come back and talk through with him about what you expect, what he expects, all that. We've created a good dialogue.
What was your reaction whenever it was in the GQ article that Jamar did your shopping for you? It sounded like you wanted to.
No comment on that one.
So what do you think LC gives you? Kind of, a veteran tackle, not afraid to dish it out. What do you think? Does it give you guys something different up front?
Yeah, he brings toughness. Big, strong, athletic guy that, we know exactly what we're going to get out of LC. Going to know exactly what he's doing. He's going to block his guy. He's going to bring toughness, physicality, and all that. So he's a great guy to have.
Joe, with an ever-increasing profile, including the SI cover story, how would you handle this increase in celebrity? People want to know more and more about you. Where did that philosophy come from? What's the best way to gauge this?
Just keep the business part outside of it's different from the football part. You're always trying to build your brand in a certain way, but you can't let it affect the way you prepare in the off season and get your workouts in and prepare throughout the year, getting your film watched. And so you have a strategy, and then when it's time to go, it's time to go.
If you had to describe your brand, how would you describe it?
That's the beauty of a brand. You don't have to describe it yourself. You guys do it for me.
What's the worst part about being a celebrity?
Whenever you go in public, it always just feels like a production. You'd like to go out and sit at a dive bar every now and then, but that's not reality. Good?
Thanks, Joe.